Got a lot of.
Dude, I saw. That was so much fun. Do you have a podcast?
Yes, but we'll talk. We'll talk. We will.
Let me on it.
Feely and I are trying to do one too.
What's that?
Feely and I are trying to do just a comic book one with fighters too.
That'd be sick.
We'll keep you in mind.
That'd be sick.
Well, Grant, obviously congratulations with the victory. Just talk to me about that fight in general. Pretty wild back and forth. Both you've had a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and then obviously you came out on top there. So I guess physically, emotionally, how are we feeling after that?
Yeah, physically, I feel terrible. Emotionally, also a little terrible. So, but I'm happy with this one because, like I said in the cage, I think a lot of people think of me as skilled. I don't think a lot of people think of me as tough, and I hope that has answered that question tonight.
So I guess in hindsight, maybe you emotionally you don't feel as good, but like, are you happy with the performance? I guess that you got to show adversity in there.
Yeah, I'll never turn my nose to a win. So, excuse me. We got the win. That's what matters. Obviously, I would like to knock everybody out in the first 10 seconds. I landed a good, clean head kick at the beginning of the round, and I thought for a second, I was like, I'm going to get him out of here early. This is going to be a good night. And then the second round, I was like, this is not a great night. And then third round, I was like, this is a great night, so I'm happy.
Well, I guess in that third round, it seemed like he shot for you, you reversed it, and kind of grabbed his neck.
Yeah.
So I guess, were you surprised that he shot on you like?
It's hard to remember because if I remember correctly, I think I hit him with something and he was shooting in and I was able to use it to reverse him and get on top. But I have to go back and watch it. It's all a blur right now. And it's normally like that, not just because I got dropped in the second.
And I guess I know you just said it's a blur, but I know we've talked to you after your previous wins, and you had a different game plan, but when you feel the strength or how they kind of move when you're on top of them, maybe the game plan goes out the way because I think you said, I can just do this all night. I just control them. So in this, I feel like, did you have to adjust on the fly this much?
So something happened to me that's never happened to me before is in the first round when I had that body triangle, my legs went dead. Like, just absolutely gone, jelly. And I was like, oh, this is bad. So, like, in the second round, my coaches were yelling at me to get a takedown, and I was like, guys, I just don't think I can get one. Something's going on with my legs, And, wasn't a great second round, but we got the victory. That's all that matters.
And a lot of people made, maybe not a lot, but obviously on the broadcast, especially the walkouts, they kept talking about, former training partners, they've done a few things together. Is that just a narrative that people are trying to latch on?
Yeah.
Or so there's nothing?
No, we've trained together, and he's a really nice guy, but there's guys I will not fight. Chris Duncan, one of my very close friends, I absolutely refuse to fight him. There's Gamrot. There's guys that like, hey, I'm not fighting these guys. I don't care what the situation is, other than a belt. If a belt's on the line, we'll do it. But I just can't imagine any of us are doing that. And then there's other guys that it's like, yeah, we've trained once or twice. If you say yes, I'm gonna say yes. So, and he said yes, so I said yes.
So I guess, what do you want next for your career in terms of, do you have names you want? Do you have places you want to fight? Dates you want to fight?
Yeah, I don't really know because I usually come up with 3 names that I want. One name if I win a boring decision, one name if I get a knockout, and one name if I win a split decision. So I don't really know where this falls in, but hopefully we'll get somebody in the top 15 next and be able to keep climbing the ranks.
I guess, when would you like to fight again?
End of the year. End of the year. My wife and I, we need a vacation. We've gone through a lot this week. We had a little bit of a family crisis, and so we need a vacation.
Everything all good though right now, or TBD?
My wife and I were expecting our first baby, and we found out on Monday that we lost the baby. So it's been a rough week, and my amazing wife soldiered through it, toughed it out, no emotion, got me through this, and I promised her a little vacation for us to go and do our thing.
Last thing on this, then, I promise. Jim Miller was just in here, and he had to go through something with his family too, and he's it was very he needed to fight to kind of distract him and kind of go through a fight week. Did you feel like that, or was it hard for you?
No, it wasn't. I'm gonna sound like such a dick. It wasn't hard for me. It was compartmentalized, put it away. We told our closest friends and family. And it was like, I'll deal with this after. So I was a bit emotional in the cage. I think that might have had something to do with it. And, Jim Miller, such a warrior. I cannot physically imagine going through what he did with his son. I can't imagine that. So just all love for him. I've been praying for him. I hope he's doing well.
Congrats on the win. And
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Grant right here. What was the biggest challenge in dealing with Rebecca's pace early in the fight?
The biggest challenge was how hard his head was. I need a kitchen sink because I threw everything else I had at it, and that dude just would not go down. He's so tough.
The submission seemed to come from a sequence where you were building towards for a while. Was that something you specifically identified in watching Rebecca's film during your camp?
To be honest with you, no. I went into this fight saying I'm not submitting this guy. Like, there's no way. He has no neck. He has no arms. I don't know how I would submit this guy. So that was a very pleasant surprise.
And to answer your question earlier, you are tough. So
My man, thank you. Thank you.
Of course. So going forward in the lightweight division, I know you said you don't have any names on your mind right now, but with how the lightweight division is building out, would you want more of a prospect next, or would you want a veteran that's already solidified in the division?
I don't know. Whatever Sean Shelby wants to do, top 15 would be nice. If it doesn't happen, we can move on. Not calling him out. I'm just saying, Jim Miller looked great tonight. If he wanted to run, again, not a call out. Love Jim Miller. If he would like to run it, I'd be definitely down for that. I see you picking up your microphone.
He said him and his wife need a vacation too, so they might.
Let's vacation together.
I think they're going to South Africa.
Never mind. I was going to Georgia to hang out in a cabin with my dogs. This guy.
Thank you, Grant.
All good?
Grant, right over here.
Where are you at? Sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay. You were very emotional in the cage after the win. Was what you talked about before the reason why, or was there a bit more that went into that?
It was a lot of things. I think what happened on Monday was a big part of it, and just locking it away and not being able to properly, deal with that was part of it. And then I don't know. I felt a little off in the back. I felt like I wasn't there in the back, and sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't, and your competitive side takes over. And then I got dropped in the second round, and we've seen with me before, getting clipped sometimes doesn't go my way. So it was nice to be able to prove to myself that I can push through something.
So like you said, you got clipped in round 2. How hurt were you, and was there any fear in your mind that the fight might get stopped?
Oh, yeah. I honestly don't remember. So, no, I was hurt for sure. He caught me dead to rights. But once I started coming back, I was on the cage, and I was like, okay, I must have gotten hurt a little bit. Let's just keep fighting. And, yeah, we went through it. We got done.
Were you surprised that he was the one that shot a takedown first?
I honestly don't remember. And it's not a I got dropped thing. It's just like it's hard to remember every little thing that goes on in an almost 15-minute fight. No, I think he took me down. He tried to take me down in the first, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, he was the first one to shoot on.
Yeah. No, I hit him. I hit him with a knee. That's why he shot. I hit him with a knee to the face or the body, and that's why he shot in and went to that body lock. Bo Nickel was showing me that body lock, so I think he's proud of me. I paid that off. I was even thinking about it in my head while we were doing it, so.
Well, you perfectly led me into my last question. We saw early head kick from you, an early knee from you. We saw you kind of brawling a bit tonight, too.
Yeah.
I feel like we saw more striking out of you than we have in the past. Was that a point you wanted to go out and make, that you actually are a lot more well-rounded than some people think?
I've told people, I can strike. You've just got to stop my takedown to see it. And Rembetsky was the type of guy I knew. I wasn't just going to touch gloves, take him down, and ride him out. So in the camp, I was training with my buddy, El Bruce. He is built and fights exactly like Rembetsky. I could not have had a better training partner than that dude. He is an absolute stud. You're definitely going to be hearing about him soon. We struck the whole time. I couldn't take him down. He's such a good wrestler, and I knew it was going to be really, really difficult to be able to take Rembetsky down. So striking and doing some of that was just part of the game.
Grant, right here. In rounds 1 and 3, you were a human backpack on Rebetsky. In round 1, you said your legs got tired. In round 3, you had the back most of the round, and then at the end, you secured the choke. You said Rebetsky had no neck, so what was your initial reaction when you actually did finally wrap around his neck and he wasn't hand fighting anymore?
Honestly, shock. I felt it come under the neck, and I was trying to get behind the head, and then he was pulling my arm down, and I was like, haha, I know what to do here. And honestly, in the back of my head, I was like, all right, this probably isn't going to work, but I'm going to go for it. And he got the tap, and I was over the moon about it.
Is that something you have tried to do against him in training sessions before that you've had, and you know you couldn't have gotten it, or is that just something you've seen on film?
Yeah, honestly, we haven't trained together in a very long time. He was there when I first went to ATT like 4 years ago. We trained for like 6 months. We have a very different style of training. Not that anything's wrong with his style of training at all. Very good fighter. It just doesn't mesh well with my style of training. So we kind of separated a little bit. And then he was set to fight my good friend, Chris Duncan. So, you know, that kind of put a wedge between us as well. We weren't super close training partners. I like the guy, and I hope he comes back to ATT, especially after, you know, now I don't have to fight him anymore. But we weren't like super close buddies.
And you mentioned earlier with the toughness, where people claim you're not tough. With everything you've gone through in this week and with the adversity you went through in the cage, I think it's time to end the narrative of Grant Dawson not being tough. And you were back in the day, you were at one point ranked number 10 in the lightweight division. How does it feel to be back on the trajectory of getting back into the top 10, especially after falling out of it?
Yeah, it feels good. I'm the kind of guy that I've got to work for everything that I want. I was top 10. I lost to Bobby Green, got kicked out, won 3 in a row, got back to number 12, lost to a very tough Torres, got kicked out. So I guess I need 2 more to get back in.
All right. Thank you so much, Grant.
I appreciate it. This is the most you guys have ever talked to me. I need to go through wars more often.
First of all, the fight was sick, and your gym have an history with my country. We've seen a lot of fights between ATT and Frenchmen, and we've got 2 guys well ranked in your weight class. UFC Paris is in September. Can we see you there against Frenchmen, Fares Yam or Axel Sola? Who's
Sure.
tough as
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't fought in Paris. I've been there to corner.
Yep.
I'd definitely be interested in doing that for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.